Hi everyone! In this video we will solve a quadratic equation by factoring. Solve 2m squared plus 3m minus 9 equals 0. This does not fall in the form of a equals 1. As a reminder, when our trinomial is in descending order, meaning that the variable with the largest exponent comes first, then the one with one exponent less, and then one exponent less. This is in descending order. This means that the coefficient in front of the first term is a, the coefficient in front of the second term is b, and the coefficient in front of the third term is c. Because our quadratic does not follow the form of a equals 1, we will need to follow a different method. This one is called the AC method. This means I take the coefficient a, in this case 2, and I multiply it to c, which is negative 9, giving us the number negative 18. When we were factoring when a equaled 1 in that form, we only factored c. Now, in this one, we will factor ac, which is negative 18. So we're not just going to look at the negative 9, we're looking at the negative 18 and find all the factors for it. Starting with 1, we have 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. And just like we did on the form when it was a equals 1, we need to look at the signs. The sign of the last one is negative, and the sign that we got when we multiplied AC together is also negative. This tells us that the signs for our factors are going to be different because that's negative. And like before, we also need to look at the first sign. In this case, we have positive and our middle term is 3. So we are going to look for a combination of our factors that give us positive 3. Now because it's positive and the signs need to be different, one will be positive and one will be negative. And because the addition of them will be a positive number, this means that the larger number will be positive because when we add them together, we will have more positives than negatives. So this one will be negative on this side, and when we add these together, negative 1 plus 18 gives us positive 17. Negative 2 plus positive 9 gives us positive 7. Negative 3 plus 6 gives us positive 3. And that is exactly what we wanted because our middle term is positive 3. So we will replace our middle term with negative 3 and positive 6. So we end up with 2m squared minus 3m plus 6m minus 9 equals 0. Some may ask if the order matters. If I could have put plus 6m minus 3m, and yes, you can do that as well. It doesn't matter. Now we're going to factor by grouping, and we'll group our first two and our second two together and find the greatest common factor. Our first two, the only thing in common is an m. So we'll pull the m out, dividing both of them by m, leaves us with 2m minus 3. And in our second two, it looks like both of them can be divided by positive 3. So we'll factor out a positive 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. We still have the m. Negative 9 divided by positive 3 is negative 3. And we still are equal to 0. Now we have this in two larger terms, here and here. And the new factor in common is the binomial, 2m minus 3. So when we factor out 2m minus 3 from both of these terms, we're left with m plus 3 equals 0. And now we've factored our quadratic down to two binomials. Now we're going to use the zero product property. Since both of these are being multiplied together and it equals 0, it means one or both of them equals 0. So we'll split it into two equations. 2m minus 3 equals 0, and m plus 3 equals 0, and then solve for m. So we'll add 3 on this one. Then we get 2m equals 3. Then divide both sides by 2, and I'm running out of room, so we'll have to write it over here, and we have m equals 3 halves. Now we need to solve for m for the second one, so we'll subtract 3 from both sides, and we end up with m equals negative 3. So our two answers are 3/2 and -3. These are the two numbers that will make our quadratic equation equal 0, and we're all done.